The fastest horse on the farm doesn't get freedom. It gets the heaviest plow. And if you've ever been the one who works harder than everyone else, you've probably felt this without knowing what to call it. The better you perform, the worse your life gets. Sounds backwards, right? So, why does being great at your job make you stuck in it? Because you're not being rewarded, you're being contained. Let me show you exactly how this plays out. Meet Alex, not a genius, not flashy, but reliable, the kind of person every team quietly depends on. Alex hits his targets early, fixes problems before they escalate, answers emails nobody else wants to touch. Basically, if work had a solve everything button, it would be Alex. So what happens next? Promotion? Recognition? Less stress? No, he gets more work. And this is where most people miss it. High performance doesn't lead to freedom. It leads to dependency. Now, think like a manager for a second. You have Alex, one person, doing the work of 3 people. Why would you promote him? If you do, you lose your most efficient asset. And now, you need to hire, train, and manage multiple people to replace him. That's not a promotion. That's a problem. So instead, they do something smarter. They keep him exactly where he is. This is called successful containment. It doesn't look evil. It doesn't feel intentional. In fact, it often feels like praise. Alex, you're incredible. We trust you with this. You're the only one who can handle it. Translation? Please don't leave this role. We're not ready to suffer yet. But here's where it gets dangerous. Because Alex doesn't realize what's happening. He thinks, I'm being valued. But what's actually happening is he's being locked in. And they don't just trap you once. They reinforce it. Manager leans in, smiles. Alex, you're next in line. Big things are coming. Just one more project. Sounds motivating, right? But here's the catch. There's always one more project. The finish line keeps moving, and you never actually arrive. Instead of accepting vague promises, ask, what specifically needs to happen for that promotion, and by when? Now you've turned hope into accountability. Ever heard this one before? You're too important to move right now. It feels like respect, like you matter. But listen closely. It's guilt disguised as praise. The team needs you. We'd struggle without you. Of course they would. You've been doing everyone's job already. This is how they anchor you, not with contracts, but with emotional pressure. Next time you hear this, respond with, that's exactly why I've been documenting my process, so the team can scale beyond me. Now you're not abandoning the team. You're upgrading it. And this one is the most dangerous. You hit 120% of your goal. You expect recognition. Instead, that becomes your new baseline. Now you're not winning anymore. You're just trying to keep up. So what happens next year? You work harder for the same position. This is a loop. High performance, more work, higher expectations, no promotion. Repeat. Quick question. How many of you are stuck in this loop right now? Working harder, but not moving forward? Drop a triangular flag in the comments, because I'm going to show you how to break out of this without quitting your job or burning bridges. What if the reason you're stuck isn't because you're underperforming, but because you're performing too well in the wrong way? You became so good at doing the job that nobody can imagine you doing anything else. And until that changes, neither will your career. Back to Alex. Same desk, same workload. Another year passes. Still no promotion. But this time, something feels different. He starts noticing patterns. The same people getting visibility. The same names in leadership meetings. And none of them are the hardest workers. So, what are they doing differently? This is where everything changes. The people who get promoted don't just do work. They create movement. Workers solve problems. Strategists decide which problems matter. One is busy. The other gets promoted. So, how do you make that shift without risking your job? This sounds backwards. You've been told to be irreplaceable your whole life. But in corporate life, Irreplaceable equals unmovable. Alex starts documenting everything. Processes, workflows, checklists, things only he used to know. Now anyone can follow. What does that signal to management? He's not a risk anymore. He's scalable. He's promotable. This one is uncomfortable because your instinct is to fix everything. But every time you fix a low-value problem, you train the system to depend on you. A small issue pops up. Before, Alex jumps in immediately. Now, he waits, and something strange happens. The problem finds another owner. Turns out, the company doesn't collapse without you. Next time something isn't your responsibility, ask, who should own this moving forward? Now you're not avoiding work. You're assigning structure. This is the one most people ignore, and it's why they stay stuck. If only your manager sees your value. Your manager controls your growth. So what happens if they benefit from keeping you where you are? Exactly. Visibility creates leverage. Alex starts sharing updates in group settings, speaking in meetings, connecting with leadership one level above, not showing off, showing impact. Now his value isn't hidden anymore. It's undeniable. This was never about working harder. It was about working visible and replaceable. Fear. Realizing hard work alone won't save you. Surprise. Understanding the system isn't built for fairness. Relief. Knowing there's a strategy that works. The fastest horse doesn't escape the farm. It just gets used more. And if you don't change how you play, you'll keep proving your value in a role you've already outgrown. So tell me, are you being rewarded or are you being contained? Drop escape in the comments if this hit you. And if you're ready to stop being the workhorse and start becoming the one who moves up, hit subscribe. Because most people don't have a work problem. They have a strategy problem.